Now the next exercise we're going to look at with our balance disc pads is we're going to really focus on that hip hinge sprinter knee drive. If you're really trying to maximize your sprinting technique, your 40-yard dash, your explosive power, this is an exercise that's going to help you because you're going to work the structure and the musculature in your feet to start. And we know that when that chain is working properly, all the way up the chain, the movement and the stability in your knee and your hips and your shoulders is going to be utilized properly. So I'm going to get onto my pad, making sure that my foot is right on the ball of that pad. I'm going to show you from the side here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with that knee drive, that sprinter knee drive with my toe straight, my chest up nice and tall. And this full foot is in full extension through my foot all the way through my glute. And you really, really get good feedback and strength through that lower body complex, mainly that glute, where I'm really getting that full drive and power and extension through that glute muscle. So I get up nice and tall. My core is tight, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a hip hinge, sit my hips back, then slightly start to squat like we do in our single leg squat. Once my body is squared up in a line, I drive back up under control. This is a very, very difficult movement, especially with the advanced pads, because you want to make sure that you're not rotating and turning. What this does, it really does find a lot of your deficiencies and your problems. It breaks it down and finds the nuances, because if you are an athlete that has structural problems and imbalances and you're not strong enough to withstand a single leg exercise or be able to absorb force or redirect force through your foot, it's going to find that, and it's going to find it real fast, and you're going to feel that glute, that hip, that calf, that foot just fire up. Or you can also find that sling system throughout your core kind of start to make you rotate, because it's just not strong enough. Because if you're running and you have that rotation, you know you're losing power and losing force through the ground because you're going side to side. And we want to make sure that we address that right away, and it starts with the feet. So once I get balanced, and I would recommend starting with our beginners ones because you have a little bit more surface area. And if you're an advanced athlete, then you start to use the advanced pad. I get onto that board, I get that knee up, making sure that my foot, ankle, knee, and hip are all aligned. Once I got that proper structure, we know those hips come back. My chest is slightly over my knees and toes. My foot is back, ready to drive out to that explosive boom movement. I'm fully extended through my hip. I'm up nice and tall, as if I'm in that nice drive position in that last 60 to 100 meter sprint. I'm in that up tall drive phase. I get back. I'm in a what we call load. So I'm absorbing, loading, and then boom, I explode. And as you can see, if you go too fast, you kind of lose your control. So you have to be able to get that control. And once you get that control, then you can explode, but still keep your body square and structured and in balance. I love this exercise. It's one of our staple exercises for our elite athletes. And we start to use this to implement that full speed and agility training and explosiveness in all of our jumps. This will unlock the potential as you, as an athlete, looking to take your game to the next level. We've used this for years because we know that when this foot is learning how to absorb power, absorb strength, you can now take that absorption and now fire it and be a more explosive athlete, because that foot has gotten stronger, because right now your foot is weak and it can't take the absorption, it can't take the load from your own body weight. So learning how to properly utilize your own body weight, because we know we don't go on the football field, we don't go on the soccer pitch, we don't go on the ice, we don't go on the hardwood with dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells. We go on with our body weight, and we have to maximally use our body weight to get explosive, to have that first drive, that first get off. And when you can get that foot strength, and now that chain of command is structured and sound, you have the proper strength and mobility, everything up the chain is now strong, you can reduce your injuries and make yourself into the greatest athlete on earth. I'll see you guys next time.